Now, ahead of today's Treasury bills primary market auction, Adamma Mbachu, the currency trading team lead at Access Bank, joins me to discuss what to expect from Nigeria's fixed income and FX markets today. Thank you so much for joining me today on the show, Adamma. Adamma, I'd like to start from what we expect from the T-bills auction today. I understand that there were some improved offers seen on long-tenured bills yesterday.
Good afternoon, Kenneth. Thank you for having me this afternoon. Okay, there's a Treasury bill NTD auction today, and we expect quite a lot of demand on the Treasury bill auction. But however, we anticipate a lower sale from the CMO as due to the huge demand and the low amount on offer. The amount of offer declined by about 30 billion, from the total offer of sales last auction. We had a total of about 95 billion last auction, and then for this auction, we're expecting a total sale of about 58 billion. So we expect a bit of drop in the rate, in the stop rate, a slight decline in the stop rate from the auction.
All right, but let's look at how the market has fared so far this week. What kind of week has it been so far? What are your expectations going forward?
Well, looking at on the FX space, this week the Naira has remained a bit stable at the CBN official window at 361, and we have seen consistent decline in the dollar liquidity due to the impact of the COVID-19. And as such, for the I&E space, there was a depreciation of the Naira by about 1 Naira 80 kobo as the Naira closed at 386.63. We saw also a decline in the turnover by $40.3 billion as the turnover closed at, $40.3 million as the turnover closed as the total turnover closed at 30.43 yesterday. Going into the money market space, we see a huge improvement in the liquidity. System liquidity closed almost at 600 billion yesterday, and this was as a result of the CRR reform. And as such, we saw rates, OBD and overnight rates drop to 2% and 2.5% respectively. Going into this week, we expect the trend to continue as we still see a lot of liquidity in the system. Moving over to the fixed income space, for the bond market, well, we saw a bit of quiet market yesterday, and the trend is continuing. It's actually being cautious. We saw more activities on the bullish side, on the long-tenured, the longer maturity. And as such, we saw a decline in the drop in yield for the benchmark bonds by 7 basis points, as the average yield trended for the benchmark bonds at 10.76 levels. For the Treasury bill space, we saw quiet session as well, and we are still seeing a bit of cautious trading as we know we have the NTD auction today. So the traders are actually waiting for the outcome of the NTD auction.
All right, Adamma, I'd like to take you back to the FX market, and I understand that this is the third week that we haven't seen the usual SMIS auction from the CBN. I'd like to get your thoughts on this and what could most likely play out this week as well. And also, you can also add your input on the participation of foreign players in the market here.
Well, for the perception of the foreign players, we know that globally we have been hit by the COVID-19, and of course the perception is that there has been a real slowdown in economic activity. So we have a bit of understanding from the foreign players and also the local players as well. And as the CBN, they have been doing quite a lot to manage the supply space in that market as well. Though we have not seen anything from them for the SME and the wholesale auction for at least a month now, and doing everything possible to see that at least things will get back to normal. But however, we see that a lot of pressure is coming from the impact of the COVID-19 and also the drop in the oil prices as well. So it's a bit of a normal scenario right now as in terms of perception, because we really do not expect so much. We expect a bit of cooperation and collaboration by all the parties to see how we manage the crisis.
All right, but I'd also like to get your thoughts on the maturities expected this week. I understand that we're expecting about 195 billion to mature, almost maturities expected tomorrow, and how you see that will play out. As well, if you can also speak on the state of the reserves as well.
Yeah. Well, you have seen a bit of the maturities this week. We have about, like what you said, about 195 billion for the OMO and about 8 billion for NCD as well. So, like I mentioned, that the market has been quite liquid. So, we see that these things are going to play out and to impact the liquidity of the market. So far, we expect the outcome of the NCD to see how much that was actually sold out for the NCD. And also, we still expect we may see an OMO auction coming from the CBN, to manage the liquidity, given the maturity in that space.
All right, then, but we're also expecting the inflation figures to come out soon as well. But I'd like to get what your expectations are for inflation.
For the inflation figures, we expect a bit of increase in tightening given the inflation figures, given that the trend of inflation has been up, and given that we have seen a lot of a slowdown or rather shutdown in economic activity here, and then we see a lot of increase in both food prices, going forward. So we expect a slight, probably like an increase on the inflation figures coming out.
All right, but very quickly though, we saw like a quick move by the South African Reserve Bank. They made a quick move on their repo rate unannounced just a few yesterday. But I'd like to see do you think we could see something similar come from the central bank here in Nigeria?
Sorry.
Did you hear my question, Adamma? So I was saying that we saw the South African Reserve Bank made an announcement on their repo rates just yesterday, an unscheduled announcement on their repo rates. Do you see a likelihood of something similar happening in Nigeria before the next MPC meeting?
So what is happening right now? I feel that doing doing quite a lot to see how the impact of the COVID-19 will really not really affect, or rather to actually not really affect the economy, and have been actually putting up efforts and have been having a series of engagements to see how they can boost and improve, our local economy and state. So in terms of having the repo, actually see that we are yet to see the CBN come out with discussions around that, and we hope that they will come up with something that will actually help out and affect the issue of the FX policy that we are currently experiencing.